Hi, this short video will introduce you to NOAA class and how you can use it to order VIIRS data. I'm Scott Lindstrom from Sims. We're talking about NOAA class. Here's the front page. If you don't know how to get to this, go to your favorite web browser and just do a web search on NOAA class. This will be the first link on that and you click on it. The first thing you want to do when you get to this is either log in if you've already registered, or to register. Why do you want to do that? Well, you're ordering data from NOAA. NOAA has to have a way of contacting you to tell you that the data has been accessed, and NOAA has to tell you how do you download this data to your machine. And that's what the email that you give to NOAA when you log in or register is supplying. So after you log in, you need to choose what you're looking for. Now it's kind of hard to see that drop-down menu where it says please select a product to search. But that's where you want to go and click on the down arrow, and when you do that you'll see a long list of many different products from many different satellites. NOAA class contains all of VIIRS data. It contains JPSS data. So just scroll down until you see what you want. We're going to be choosing JPSS VIIRS products by Granule. So you click on that, and that takes you to this page where you have ways to then refine what you're going to get. You don't want to get all the data. You have to refine it by day, time, or maybe latitude, longitude. So if you scroll down on this page just a little bit, you see the region where you define the spatial attributes of what you want to get. But we're just going to change the start and the end date because I know beforehand when the data were collected that I want to look at. So it's from December 3rd between 2050 and 2110 UTC. And if you scroll down a little bit farther, you can say this is the kind of data that I want to get. So we have all these different VIIRS products that are listed. And I want both from NOAA 20 and from SUMI NPP the VIIRS aerosol optical depth. So I click it, and I click on both of the satellites. I can click then on quick search and order, which will go out and tell NOAA class this person wants all this data that they've selected above. Get it for them, store it off somewhere, and send them the email that tells them where it is, and that's all you have to do. Alternatively, you can click on search, and that takes you to this page where it shows you all the hits. So these are all the data sets that meet the criteria that you have just selected. So they're times between 2050 and 2110 on the 3rd of December for SUMI NPP and for NOAA 20. You just click the boxes of the data sets that you want. You could also go to select data sets here, and there's a down and expand that, and you'll have there's something there that says choose all data sets. So once you've clicked everything you want, that puts them in the shopping cart. You go to the cart and you place the order. How do you know which granule to select or which times to select? That's a challenge with polar orbiters because it's not intuitive to know, oh, I know exactly when NOAA 20 was flying over, for example, Los Angeles, California on December 3rd. That's kind of a challenge. There is a website that's shown in the link here at SACC that has different polar orbiting tracks. If you go to the website, you see something that looks like this, where we have different map projections. We're looking at the global one. It's pretty easy to change this to North America. And if you scroll down, at the bottom you will see a bunch of different satellites to choose from. So the different polar orbiters that are received at this particular data center are shown. So then you can click on it to see when those particular satellites are passing over your area of interest. And it'll look something like this. So here we have the URL for this particular NOAA 20 pass on the 3rd of December. That's day 338 in 2020. This is a North America projection. The ascending pass on that day is moving from 21Z to 2105Z off the coast of California. So you know to select data between those two times from NOAA 20 because that's when it's over Southern California. If you wanted a different year or day, you could just change the URL up here. So if you wanted, I don't know, January 15th, 2021, you would just change all the 2020s to 2021, and you would change 12/03/338 to 01/15 and 015. So that's one way to figure out which granules you're going to want. You can also go to the JSTAR mapper to find out when you need to get data. So when you go there, you have something that looks like this. The first thing you're going to want to do is change it to the correct date. So by default, it opens up to yesterday's true color imagery because that's complete. This was created using M-band imagery, but you can use the toggles in the box there to go back to the correct time that you want. So the first thing you're going to do is use the day, month, year to move to the day you're interested in. And for this one, it's December 3rd, 2020. So you notice we've entered that. The map has changed. So if we just toggle between the two of these, you see that the background map has changed. And by default, it's SUMI NPP. We want to change that to NOAA 20. So we'll do that. You can also overlay products on this image if you want to. So at the moment, what's going to show, if I click in on the show box, is the M-band fire radiative power. So you can overlay that on the screen and you see something that looks like this. You can also add non-product information as well, and one of the non-products is granules. So if you expand that non-product layer, you see something that looks like this. So you'll notice that it's showing the N20 VIIRS true color that's created using the M bands. And if you click on VIIRS granules, you end up with something that looks like this. We have all the individual granules overlaid on top of the true color imagery. If you mouse over the map, you'll see the time that the data were taken in the granule. So you get something that looks like this, where you can't see my mouse there because it wasn't captured, but it's in that granule that's over Southern California, and in the upper right you see the time of the granule. These data were being observed by the satellite between 2102:42 and 2104:07, so not a very long time period, but it tells you the exact time you want to look at for the data you want to get from class. So it simplifies things. After you've ordered everything, and remember we ordered 5 different granules, 4 from NOAA 20 and 1 from SUMI NPP, and they're showing up here. You'll notice that in the file names there's a J01 that identifies NOAA 20, and there's an NPP that tells you that it's NPP. And we have these different tar files that include the different granules. Now we want the one that includes something from around 2102. That's the 3rd granule in this list, which if you look at the start and the end times, that's what the start, the S is for start, the E is for end, the C is for creation. You can determine exactly which one you want to download. So you download these, you untar them, and that leaves you with some netcdf files that you can then use to interrogate with whatever kind of interrogation software you have to display imagery from the netcdf file. So that's how you find NOAA class data for VIIRS. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for listening.